Father Brown is back in the house with Spidey Presents. Oh my lord, I'm back. Oh my god. Whatever. So, I'm back after a few days. We're going to talk about a classic movie from 1958. Oh, it is a wing dinger, man. It's called Fiend Without a Face. I kind of show you the front cover before we get into some of the technical details of it. A lot of people don't even remember this movie. Really true horror fans will remember this movie. It's a classic from 1958. It's actually part of the Criterion Collection, which actually makes it really kind of interesting because Criterion only puts the best movies in their collection, right? We all know who Criterion is. You know, remastered stuff, you know, great jewel cases and inserts and all kinds of stuff, man. Good company, man. Only the best movies they pick for their collection. Anyway, so we're going to talk about this from 1958. And I got Father about... God damn it, man. I got to stop fumbling my words. I got to stop speeding it up and just... Anyway, I got Father Brown in the background, as always, because I like those old radio programs. And just a little bit of rear end ambience. How about that? And the studio looks kind of toned down. We kind of no really flickering lights tonight, except lit pumpkins maybe. That's about it. I really don't even want to. It's too much. It takes away from my magnificent reviews. Yes. Oh, my head really looks like a giant papaya, man. You know, a papaya with these goggles, man. I don't get it, man. You could probably find this in a supermarket, like in the fruits and vegetable stands in the supermarket. You know, my papaya head here. Oh, anyway, okay. Oh, I got some other news too before we get to my incredible review. Penny the Lone Clown has invited Annabelle from California, from all those Conjuring movies, into the studio as a special guest in about a week or so. Apparently, she jumped on a plane and she's on her way, or she will be shortly. So, so she'll be sitting right to my left, and you'll be able to look at her as we're talking about movies and stuff. And I'm sure she's going to give you some goddamn nightmares. Yeah, oh goddamn right. Oh my god, it's terrible. I can't believe that she agreed to come and join our fantastic podcast studio. Oh, it's fantastic. See, I told you how popular we really are. Anyway, I've been a little under the weather for a few days. Well, not really, just tummy ache, stuff like that. I'm not even sure. This goddamn weather in uptown Shitville sucks, man. Okay, enough of my babbling. Let's talk. Do we need to do any shout-outs first? Okay, where's my press secretary, Janelli? I ain't got a goddamn fucking clue, man. Where she is. She doesn't even talk to me until I go back to work. Oh, my God. Okay. Studio looks good. Tone down the lighting a bit so you don't get obstructed by all the flickering lights. That's more like a psychedelic 1970s blacklight poster shit. Oh God, yes. Oh, Fiend Without a Face. Okay, this movie is directed by Arthur Crabtree. Oh, I wish I had my last name was Crabtree. That's goddamn cool, man. How in the hell does somebody get Crabtree for their last name? That is cool. I want that. Spidey Crabtree. There it is. You can kind of see this, I don't know, this old guy. Well, maybe he's on the backside. There's one of the guys who gets his brain eaten out of his head right there. You can see how ugly these goddamn creatures are. They're about the size of like a football with spinal cords attached to them. And they got little thingies coming out of their head, you know, feelers, trying to find. I guess they're really intelligent. So basically, because of this mad scientist that lives in that little town, the story really basically centers around an Air Force base newly formed in this little British province or something like that. There's a little town that kind of surrounds it or something like that. And, of course, they got like a contract or something with the Air Force base to be there. So the townsfolk don't really like them, but they're getting oodles of money from the Air Force, of course. You know, so money says everything, right? Oh, there's that guy, man. Oh, technical information on the back. We'll get to this schlock later on, man. This guy's an idiot. All right. Let's open it up and take a peeky on the inside. How about that? Okay, there's the disc. It's a pretty basic disc, but that ain't the end of it either. Okay. Then we got, of course, the edge, which I know you all just fantasize about. Of course, that comes with an insert, too. I just took the insert out so I don't have to dig it out. And it's got all this technical information on the inside. See, it's like a fold-out one. It's kind of nice, man. Only Criterion would do that. See, look at that. See? Cool. It's fucking raining outside. That's why I probably don't feel too good. There we go. Lots of information. See? Okay. You get the gist of it. That goes inside the disc. Special little snap disc or something like that. We aren't going to show this again because I think you get the general idea of all the information that you get, stuff like that. Let's get back to the movie. Enough of my babbling about technical insert crapola. Oh my god. I gotta sit in this chair better. Some reason, man. I'm sliding out of this. God, oh, that's better. That is much better. Come a little closer. You can see my handsome papaya mug. Anyway, let's get back to the movie again. It's a classic, man. 1958. Like I said, it just centers around the Air Force Base in this little British town and stuff like that. And, of course, there's the mad scientist who created this goddamn son of a bitchin' creatures, man. Apparently, he's controlling like pencils on his desk and stuff. He's got a headset on. He's trying to see how powerful his mind can get. Unfortunately, he creates these goddamn monsters out of his goddamn brain, man. And they actually come to life. They actually come to life, folks. I mean, seriously, they come to life. I don't know. He has some kind of dark, demented section in his skull or something like that. I don't think he meant to do this, but he did, man. And they ended up killing half the goddamn town, man. The Air Force people, most of them, the nuclear Air Force base, man, and dozens of townsfolk, man. Oh, it's just terrible, man. It's terrible. But it's kind of like stop animation motion type, like Ray Harryhausen type stuff. The creatures basically are invisible for maybe 3/4 of the movie, but you can hear them sloshing around on the trees. You can hear them moving on the ground. They kind of push themselves forward with their tail or their spinal cord tail, what you want to call it. Oh, they're ugly. You don't want one as a pet. Trust me, you just don't want one of those as a pet, man. What they do is they jump on your goddamn head, right? They wrap their spinal cord around your neck to hold you in place, and then they insert holes in the back of your skull, and they suck your goddamn brain right out. I kid you not, man. They suck your spinal cord out, and you got your entire brain out. So you got nothing but an empty skull up there. I mean, you're fucking dead. And the horror you should see the look on some of these people's these victims' faces, man. It's like, oh, I can't show you with my mask on, but it's like, they just died a horrible, horrible death, man. It's just, oh my god, it's just terrible, man. Anyway, they start killing people left and right. Like I say, you don't get to see these things, but you see them killing people off and on the first maybe half of the movie. People are walking in the woods, or a farmer and his wife are in their barn, and they get attacked by one of these things, and they both go down, of course, and of course, the town's folk are just trying to find out what's going on here. All of a sudden, there's 4 or 5 people dead, and they're starting to blame the Air Force Base on their nuclear power jets and stuff like that, or what do you want to call them? Because they're experimenting with nuclear power at that Air Force Base. But that really has nothing. Well, it kind of has something to do with it, but that's not really. It's the mad scientist. He's the problem. So for some reason, he creates these goddamn creatures out of his mind, and they actually start to come to life. And that's why they're just kind of sludging around the area, the town, the Air Force Base, trying to suck out people's brains and stuff like that. It's really cool. The climax really comes at the end, where about 8 of these people are trapped in the scientist's house, And of course, They're smart too. They actually get smarter and smarter with the more nuclear power that's displayed in the Air Force Base. That sounds like a stupid way to describe it. I mean, the more nuclear output that's coming out of the Air Force Base, they get smarter. For some reason, they just know what's going on. That seems to make them smarter and smarter and smarter. They have, know how to use a hammer, all kinds of crap, man. I mean, they're stopping people from trying to get out of the town and everything like that. I mean, these things are smart as hell, man. But they do have one downfall, and I'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Anyway, so the movie just kind of goes along, and there's all kinds of finger pointing between the townsfolk, the mayor, and the Air Force Base. Marshall Thompson is the Air Force goon who's mainly the main spokesman for the Air Force Base. You'll recognize him. He's been in a lot of movies. And so basically, of course, he has a love interest for the scientist's daughter or granddaughter or something like that. So basically, I don't know why I say basically so many times. Did I give a shout out for Janelli? or Dane the Embalmer. I always got to mention those people. And Musty Krusty Lice Rice, the rice brain eaters from Iowa. Oh, there we go. It's got the creatures are really goddamn cool. They're just nasty, man. You don't want those. This thing, they hide up in trees. They jump on top of your head when you're walking by, stuff like that. Or they ambush you from bushes when you're walking down a little country road, man. You can just hear them. You cannot see where they're coming from until you look at the grass. There's something moving in the grass. And all of a sudden, it leaps up on your goddamn head, man. Ooh, they're nasty. Nasty, nasty fucking things. Anyway, so they pretty much kill everybody at the Air Force Base, these brains, man. And then they're trying to get to the scientist's house because they know the scientist can stop them. And they get trapped in this house, his mansion or what, little country, whatever it is, cottage or something like that. He has his laboratory in the basement. He's a mad scientist, man. He means well, but he just created a nightmare for the entire area, man. Anyway, so once they start getting more power, they're surrounding the house, right? They've killed tons of people in the town, the Air Force Base, right? These creatures. Basically, they trap these maybe 8 or 9, 10 people in the house. And this is one of the guys they get in the house, man. One of the farmers or something from the area. Because they're all trying to huddle together, trying to get away, trying basically to get out of the goddamn town, man. But they can't. There's hundreds of these goddamn things everywhere, man. It's like mosquitoes. Well, maybe not quite that many. Oh, yeah. Pretty cool cover, man. Anyway, you get an idea what these goddamn things look like, man. I would really go to YouTube and check out a trailer. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, so these people are trapped in the house, and they keep saying, how come we can't see them? How come we can't see them? And, of course, because the scientist is blocking it somehow with his mental telepathy or something like that, because he's gotten so powerful, his brain thoughts and his waves and stuff like that. But eventually they basically try to destroy, these creatures try to destroy the Air Force Base, and they want more power because they eventually become visible. And that's what you got right there, man. These ugly-ass creatures, they're trying to kill these goddamn... I know there's a lot of different scenes in this movie I could talk about, like I always say. There's a lot of scenes. There's a lot of dialogue in this movie. Speculation, like I said earlier, and finger-pointing, stuff like that. But it's well acted by a great cast. I mean, the creatures aren't exactly the most realistic thing you ever saw in your life, but they are quite effective. Like Ray Harryhausen type stuff. And so basically they're trying to keep these creatures out of the house at the end. And they're boarding up the windows, barricading the doors. They're trapped in this one particular room. They got all their sidearms. They're firing at these creatures out the boarded up windows, and they die. They're mortal. They die. You shoot them with a bolt, and they kind of blood splatters all over the place. So, oh my God, it's just terrible, man. They managed to kill all the creatures at the end. And something about the nuclear plant, when that gets shut down, these creatures need nuclear power to keep getting stronger and smarter. But once the nuclear plant has been destroyed by this one particular Air Force guy, they start to die. Because they really need this type of power to keep multiplying and keep basically, you know, I guess they multiply by themselves. They really don't show you how they multiply, but there's a lot of these goddamn things in the wooded areas around the town, man. So basically, most of these people in the house end up living because the creatures start to die, and you get to see what they look like. They're trying to break through the windows. They get this idiot right here. They get that idiot right there. One of them comes down the chimney and just jumps on his fucking head, man. He's looking at it on the floor going, what the hell? What the hell? And it just jumps up on him, and it takes a few minutes, and pretty soon you're completely a zombie, man. It's a great movie, folks. It's a classic, man. Oh, anyway, all the creatures pretty much die they actually all die at the end. They kind of just melt into a pile of goo because they got no more nuclear power to propel them, to keep them alive and stuff like that. They really needed the nuclear power to keep getting bigger and stronger and multiplying, stuff like that. And once the Air Force Base reactor is destroyed, they're pretty much toast. They all are toast. They just kind of like melt into icky old piles of green goo or something, even though it's black and white. Cool movie, folks. Cool movie, man. Oh, like I said, I can't sit there and talk about every little scene, but it is a classic from 1958. Yeah, show you that edge again. I know this really makes a lot of your night. Seeing that edge there, it's pretty cool, huh? Oh, this idiot right here, he has that little British accent. Oh, they're going to get me. And they do, because you let the damn thing jump on your fucking head, man. You can't do that. Once you get a hold of your fucking head and your neck, you're finished. Cool. Anyway, we're up to 17 minutes, so we're going to rate this movie. Not a bad review. Kind of right to the point. I can't tell you every damn scene in the movie or all the dialogue. You just got to watch it. It's about 75 minutes long. It's a classic, man. Not many people have seen this movie. I never heard of that movie. Well, you should check it out. It's a good movie, man. We're going to give this a 9 Spiderwebs. Well, I don't want to give it a 10. We're going to give it a full 9. That's a pretty damn good rating, I think. 9 Spiderwebs for Fiend Without a Face. Woohoo! Yeah. Isn't that cool? You can't see shit there. All right. Anyway, I got another classic coming up. Look at this idiot with his mouth open. I fucking stick my spinal tail down his throat. Anyway, it's a great flick, folks. 9 Spiderwebs for Fiend Without a Face. Yeah. So I'm going to get going because we're up past 18 minutes and I don't like to stretch these out, too further. Not, 18 and a half minutes. That's about the length of my reviews. Anyway, we're going to talk about another movie next time. I think you're going to like this one too. Then we're going to get going. The Beast from 20,000 Phantoms. That's my next review, folks. Giant beastie unthaws. Kenneth Tobey classic. But until then, like I said, 9 Spiderwebs for this movie. And I got to get going. So until next time, I will see you at the movies. How about that? Look at that. Ooh, good stuff, folks.